let's get our focus on the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Their game plan in the first game and the way that they played, it wasn't just that they lost the game, the Toronto Maple Leafs, it was the lack of effort.
Absolutely.
It's how they lost it. Well, tonight they came out and it was a perfect start and a very good response.
Absolutely, and I think the question was going into this game was, did the Leafs have this in them to have this sort of pushback against the Tampa Bay Lightning? Boy, did they ever. Game 2, and with Michael Bunting serving the first game of his 3-game suspension, the rookie Matthew Nyes makes his playoff debut for Toronto. Meanwhile, no Eric Chernak. He's out with a head injury. No Victor Hedman. His injury is undisclosed. The Leafs looking to take advantage. First shift of the game, Mitch Marner's tripped up by Ian Cole, and the Leafs are on a power play.
Good play by Matthews to get it back to Morgan Riley. In the feet of Marner. He will fire. Score!
Mitch Marner makes it 1-0 just 47 seconds into the opening frame. He becomes the first player in franchise history to record a point on each of the team's first 4 goals of a postseason. And Toronto, we're just getting started. Just over 7 to go in the first. John Tavares wins the draw. And Morgan Riley back to Tavares in front. And Johnny T makes it 2-0. 19th career playoff goal for the captain. His team going back to work on a delayed penalty just over 2 minutes later.
Tavares dropping it back to Nylander. Nylander closes far side. One-timer sent by Matthews was stopped. Played back to the blue line, and Riley finds Nylander. Closing, score!
William Nylander with his second of the playoffs. The Leafs are up 3-0, and they're headed to the second period. After Cole cut the deficit to 2 midway through the frame, Tampa Bay Lightning turn it over. Nylander on the give and go with Riley. Nylander stoned by Andre Vasilevsky, but Tavares is there. He cleans it up, and the captain makes it 4-1. He would add one more, and John Tavares with the hat trick late in the third. Meanwhile, 4th assist of the game for Morgan Riley. He ties the franchise record for points in a playoff game by a defenseman, and John Cooper is sour. Meanwhile, after Zach Aston rescored moments later to make it 5-1, TJ Brody finds Marner. Marner spins and fires home his second of the game. The Leafs hang 6 on Andre Vasilevsky through just 2 periods of hockey. Leafs are up 6-1, and we're going to the third period. Meanwhile, frustration boiling over for the Bolts in the final frame. Tanner Jeannot drops the gloves with Luke Shen, and afterward, Jeannot going at it with a fan in the box. This time in game 1, the fans had headed home. Tonight, they are engaged. Meanwhile, Patty Maroon giving a little tug to O'Reilly's hand on the bench. You want to go? Hey, you want to go? This game had some juice from both teams as the Toronto Maple Leafs turn around and pump the Tampa Bay Lightning 7-2 after getting pumped by the Lightning in Game 1. As I mentioned, Morgan Riley becoming the 3rd defenseman in NHL history to record 4 primary assists in a playoff game. Andre Vasilevsky giving up 6+ goals for the 5th time in his playoff career, and just a huge win for the Leafs, considering that the Lightning had never lost a best-of-7 series when going up 2-0. They were a 10-0 record when they were up 2-0. As for John Tavares, he gets a hat trick, the first Leafs playoff hat trick since Alex McGillney way back in 2003.